Guide us to be the leaders of your people and help us to see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all persons with reverence your creation deserves. And finally, Father, renew us with strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community that reflects you. We ask this as your sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. Amen.
Amen. Place the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Place the American flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We wanted to make sure we got it for you.
Yeah.
We won't stick around. Help you here. I'd like to welcome everyone to our first official meeting of 2022. Welcome everyone. We have the Cleveland Community Football. I think we have the freshman class. I think we have the senior, right? Or the coach. Black. We won't get them out here. I think where's the best for y'all?
Down there, right here? Yeah.
All the freshmen? I don't know where. We don't remember those freshmen. You want to do them together?
Sure. If we can get them all, if we can get them.
Yeah.
Okay. And now they want the super, right? We're in there.
Freshman. Come on, boys. Y'all come up here.
Yeah. They said you told us
And they will, if they come forward this way, they'll.
Hey, freshman, y'all come up over here in front.
Now they want the Super Bowl coach. What was the score on the freshman?
33-6.
In the senior class?
0. Hey, right here, buddy. Here, y'all hop in right here.
This is a foreign freshman, that was for the senior.
All right.
Can we?
Signatures. She'll sit in your lap, right?
And I believe they told us that they were going to put lights out at the,
Yes,
Forty.
yeah, there will be aluminum signs out of the sports park as well.
with
So,
the name.
and we'll arrange that with you guys, so everyone can be there when they're available.
Good enough, boys.
Great job. Appreciate y'all. Great job for coming up, yes.
You have to keep the 4 o'clock signs.
Good job. Right.
Here, smile one more time, boys. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Howdy.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll have anything with that. Okay. Mr. Jacob Malnar, 5 years, Cleveland PD, done an outstanding job. We appreciate it. Okay, we got. Thank you, Roy. Garland might have to get used to it. Marilyn Clay has been certified with the municipal official, sorry, let me get this out, certified municipal official. And this was done by the TML. I think she's had over 70 hours of training with the TML. And they're presenting her with this, I think, at a meeting in February. I'll let you start with it.
Basically, it's, we'd like to congratulate Councilmember Clay on receiving the designation with Texas Municipal League as a certified municipal official. This is a voluntary certification program open to elected officials from Texas Municipal League's member cities. Basically, what it pertains to is she completed 72 hours of continuing education classes in a year, which is, and this training is required by the state of Texas. She will be recognized at a meeting in February. Ms. Clay, thank you for what you do for the city.
Okay, next item on the agenda is public comments. We have several. Claudia Scott, you want to read her? You can do that or come over here, Claudia, which are you feel comfortable.
Good afternoon. My name is Claudia Scott, 710 North Franklin, Cleveland, Texas. And I'm here before council to talk about the street paving in precinct 20. I noticed you guys have already started paving some streets in precinct 20. Some I agree with and some I don't. But nevertheless, they're still getting paved. And the past management we had in public work, and they indicated to me a couple of streets was going to be paved, but I have yet to see them paved yet. And I'd like to give you the name of those streets. I want to know if you guys are finished in precinct 20. I don't think you are, at least I hope you're not. And one of the street is Lenny Alford.
Okay,
It's in bad shape.
can I address you on that? Just, we've got to do water and sewer,
I understand.
and it's going to be paved.
Okay,
But we've got to do the water and sewer
on that particular street.
before because we don't go in there.
No, I understand what you're doing.
Okay.
I've been saying.
That's on one, and I think, what was the other one?
Lamar, okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, there's one intersection that I was assured that was going to be taken care of, and it has not. And that's on the corner of Santa Fe and Old Dale McDuffie Street.
Yes, sir.
And I see what the Public Works went out there and put a bandage, like it made it worse.
Right.
So it needs to be taken care of.
Yes, sir. That
Yes.
was not part of the original paving project, but we did identify that as an area of need. And we do plan to add it to this part of the project. To basically repave that entire intersection right there.
And that will be taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I guess that's all I have for you guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, Bernice Mitchell. Come on up, Bernice. Bernice, longtime school board president and been around Cleveland for as long as I can remember. So we're gonna listen to you, Bernie.
That's what I'm gonna say. First, I'd like to put into y'all, and thank you for letting me give us this opportunity. I got two main concerns. I don't know if the city can do anything about it or not, but Campbell is a health problem. Campbell Red Meat place over there, that dust, they stirs up dust and they're killing us over on, I live on Vine, on Lamar, on the North Fenner Street, 17 North Fenner Street. That concrete thing come right down back there. But when they do all that grading and everything out there, dumping that, I don't know if the city can do anything about it, but that's a health hazard. And not only me, but everybody in that neighborhood around there, that dust is just like killing us at times. Sometimes it's a little better than others, but that's one thing I sure hope that, I don't know if y'all can have anything to do with that.
Well, I know they're supposed to follow certain rules.
And I know that.
And if they're not,
One time they did do it a little better, but now they done got slack again. And then that's my problem. If you don't, I'm hoping that these not gonna be just some promises, something's gonna actually be done. You know, a lot of times we get promises, and that's it. I'm hoping we have some action. Next thing I like to say, on Vine Street, on Vine, the railroad crossing goes to Odell Mack, different street there, that on Vine Street there,
okay.
that ditch. I know it wouldn't take much to take a lift or something other than great. What happened, all that traffic come from the other part of town and goes down through there and just clutters up, and that's why we get a lot of water backed up there. If they could get something to dig that out, get all that trash out of there, and the ditch kind of filling back up, and the grass, and I don't know if the city got that part, but the railroad track had something to do with those growing up in that ditch. But,
Is it right there at the opening of the culvert?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, the open them cupboard. Yeah, that cupboard, they get cans, trash, grass, bushes, everything. It runs down that ditch, down through there, and stops it up. Just about stop it up. And the water slows it down. And when it rains, if it get very much rain, it really does bad, messes up, it'll back up there. And I'm hoping that there was something to be done with that. Now, the other thing that I like to say is that sometimes we get promises, but I'll tell you, I'm a taxpayer. I've been paying taxes, I've been here in the city. 70 years, that's about it. Oh, no, I take that back. 65 years. 65 years that I've been here, yeah. And I've been paying taxes that long. And every year, my taxes goes higher and higher. This past year, I paid $500 some more dollars taxes this year on my taxes. And I'm just hoping that some of that money is gonna be spent in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Everything's.
We all know that, Bernie.
Well, I'm hoping that that's what I'm saying. I'm not hoping there's gonna be some promises, there's gonna be some action taken. I'm hoping and praying that it will. If that way, I think everything will work out all right. We're gonna wait and see. Now, do I have some promises this gonna happen?
I promise you we'll do everything we can.
If they'll give me the money, Ernest, I'll spend it right, I hope, but I don't know that you know how that goes too.
Yeah, I know how that goes, but I'm praying that it's gonna do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Chaplain Lance Blackwell.
Good evening, everyone. It's just a pleasure to be here and to volunteer for this wonderful city. It's just a great city. I'm just here to comment on February that's coming up. Abraham Lincoln's birthday is on the 12th, and the city of Cleveland established a day and a time to come together for prayer officially in the city. And as you know here, some of your council members were on the council when Mayor Others Cone was here and wanted to establish a day of humiliation, fasting, and prayer on the day of Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And he was the president that established the very first day for America to come back and to humilify themselves and to humble themselves and to fast and pray because of all the things that went on in America during the Civil War days. And so I'm just here to let you know that we're pulling things together, and this is the city's day. And as you know, the National Day of Prayer is on the first Thursday of May every year. President Reagan established that with an organization called the National Day of Prayer Committee, and they pulled that together. And so the one thing I liked about Mayor Otis Cummings, he wanted to establish no matter what day it is, on Abraham Lincoln's birthday, we're going to get together. And so the Cleveland Civic Center's pulled everything together, and Ashley Broussard's got all this done. So I want to thank everyone, and we're here to pull it together. And whatever your needs are, just let me know. Okay?
And we'll do a proclamation.
Yes.
And we'll get it together.
Exactly. We'll get together, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Janice Hope. Hope I said that right. Janice.
Thank you, Mayor, council members, Ms. Smith, and Mr. Williams, and all of you here from Cleveland. Thank you. My name is Janice Holt. I live in Silsbee, in Hardin County, and the reason for my visit here this evening is to just introduce myself. I'm running for state representative for House District 18, and for those of you who don't know, House District 18 with redistricting has now also encompassed Hardin County, where I live. And so we lost our state rep in the redistricting. Actually, he's running for another office. But Hardin County then was added in with House District 18, which now will be, in 2023, it will be Hardin County, Liberty County, San Jacinto County, and East Montgomery County. So I just wanted to say hello, introduce myself, and just let you know that I'm ready and willing to speak to any of you about any issues here in Cleveland. I've been a long-time resident of Hardin County and have been through Liberty County, well, neighbors, right? And so anyway, I do have a card. If you don't mind, I'd like to just let you take one and pass them down. My number's on there. Thank you. And if I can do anything to, or answer any questions, I'd be happy to. Thank you so much for your time.
You just heard that we need money.
Yes, I heard that.
We need to reduce our taxes on the agricultural taxes.
Well, I tell you, I got a plan for that. You know,
Did you hear that?
So, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, but I'm a school board member too, over in Silsbee. And so I understand all of this, and I understand also how you work. You know, when we work for the city, we work for the school districts, we do that, you know, pretty much on our own dime, and it takes a lot of dedication for what you do. So thank you for what you do, and I look forward to getting to know each of you better. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm not school board member.
Well, you still understand that.
Oh, I did.
Mr. Jim Carson. Thought he was gone, but he's alive and well and doing.
And I'm representing Leadership East Texas. As most of you folks know on the council, you're one of the members of Leadership East Texas. And just a brief overlay of what it is, we're trying to home grow leaders for our community in Liberty County, San Jacinto County, Polk County, and East Montgomery County. We've had our fourth class today of 6. Graduation is going to be in April. And we're looking for sponsors for the graduation. If you're interested in sponsoring the graduation luncheon, please contact me. And just one of the things that they're doing is a class project. And the class project they've chosen this year is the beautification of Campbell Park. So they'll be doing a lot of work in there. So, and we're still going to be your neighbors. We're going to be across the hall from the chamber at Veritex Bank. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else have a comment? Okay. Item 5 is reports, comments from city council, mayor, city staff. Any? Carolyn, Marilyn, James?
I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight and showing up for our meeting. I also want to congratulate Ms. Clay on her great accomplishment as CMO designation, and appreciate your hard work on and all you do for us. So thank y'all for being here.
I just wanted to say thanks to everyone that came out, Mr. Scott, Mr. Mitchell. And also, I think will encourage other or more taxpayers to come out and sort of bring to the council your concerns and your issues. This is what helps us do a better job. This would help us make things work. So we really appreciate you coming out and doing that. And I also wanted to, and thank you too. I also wanted to thank Mr. Reynolds. And this is concerning the lighting issues in the city of Cleveland. And this is another thing that the citizens brought forward, that how dark it was, how they could not see during the parade. And we had observed this, but Mr. Reynolds put together a meeting with the energy company. And myself, Ms. McWaters, the mayor, and the previous city manager was there, along with Mr. Reynolds. And they are willing to help us get some of these lighting issues done. So we just wanted to thank the citizens for that concern as well, because that was one of the things that they brought up to our attention as well. So they're gonna be working on trying to get some more lightings in different areas in the city of Houston and along the highways. We thank you for all you do towards bringing these things to us. Thank you.
Did you meet with them, Robert? Y'all were gonna go around and look.
We were gonna do it Friday afternoon, one of the other guys with energy couldn't go, so we're gonna reschedule this week.
I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out to our fire station. That was a great crowd. We had to do the fire, or the groundbreaking, really good. Marilyn took my deal about the lights. That's, I had just talked to Stacy about all the trash and things. Hopefully we're gonna get some people out working our street sweep with them. It was wrecked, so it's supposedly gonna be back. It's supposed to be next week or so. But I had talked to him about the trash around Walmart and all that area, and we've had it before, and we're gonna try to clean it up again. It was pretty bad, but that goes all over town. Try to work on that. Anybody else? Go ahead, Angel.
I just wanted to let everybody know that our council election will be coming up, and that tomorrow, January the 19th, is the start of the applications for place on the ballot. So we'll have those packets ready at City Hall and also on our website at clevelandtexas.com. The positions that we'll have for the election this year are positions 3, 4, and 5. So if you have any questions, please contact the City Secretary's office.
Okay. Next item is consent agenda. Item 6 through 17.
Mayor,
go ahead, man.
Questions or discussion? I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda. Item 6 through 17.
Second.
Carolyn, did you say?
I did.
Okay. Any other discussion in the council? Consent? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against, the same sign. Okay, item 18, consideration and possible. Item 18, consideration and possible action on acceptance of certificate of substantial completion on the Harvey Electrical Project at the Municipal Sports Park. I need to read that number. DR4332-PW5209.
Yes, sir. The project is complete within the time frame of the FEMA grant. We've done the walkthrough, punch list, all items are complete.
Council have any questions? Stacy about the park?
I do.
Go ahead.
As far as all the items being completed, so, and we know that they have some problems there. So can you tell us exactly what they did, or?
Yes, ma'am, they, due to the flooding, they raised the breaker panels behind the concession stand from ground level to approximately 6 feet off the ground behind the concession stand, as well as at the entrance of the park. All the breaker panels were elevated, keep them out of the water from flooding and becoming damaged. Then they ran additional conduit, new conduit, and new wiring to the fields for the lighting. And they also internally in the bathrooms, concession stands, et cetera, put all new plugs, all new fixtures, because those were flooded as well.
Okay, so if we have another flood, possibly it won't happen again, or, I know that was the standards as far as the footage that you
The height,
have to go
yes, ma'am.
above, but, so possibly it would not get flooded again.
Yes, ma'am, that was the idea, to try to raise it up and prevent it from flooding again. I think it's flooded more than once.
Oh, yeah, the thing is, they're not gonna give us any more money
No.
if we have this happen
That's
again.
right. We're on our own.
And it's putting us in a bad position, and we keep throwing money at something that's probably gonna happen. And it may not take this out, but it'll take other things out,
Yes, yeah.
so.
Well, and to my understanding, it's taking fences out, et cetera.
How much was this, Stacy?
What was the total?
Less than, like this.
It was, for this particular project, I believe it was close to $600,000. And we're getting it through a hardship request through FEMA. They'll provide us the money and then we pay the contractor.
Is that 600?
Approximately, yes, ma'am.
I didn't think it was that much, but a lot of money. A lot of money that we, like I say, they said they will not participate again. Council, it's up, we need to pay these people.
Make a motion that we accept the certificate on this completed.
Carolyn, and James, you second. Have a motion from Carolyn, and a second from James. Any other discussion with the council? Oh, go ahead.
So since the completion is on this part is done, will there be any money being poured into the other part that we have? And it's only completed whatever you need to be completed out here.
Right.
Will any money be left or whatever, then we can start pouring into our other parts?
We've got money that we're gonna spend on the parks, but not from this grant was strictly for, this was strictly for that damage that was done during the hurricane.
Or we will be bringing life to the rest of the parks?
You know, we, in the budget, put monies that we hope this spring, because, especially on Campbell Park, the splash pad's finished. Although we accepted it. So we're gonna do work at that park, for sure. They did a whole lot better, and the one behind the Baptist church, and Samuel Wild. Hopefully we will. Any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against, the same sign. Item 19, consideration and possible action on service agreement with Verizon Wireless for new phone system and authorize the interim city manager to sign the documents. Stacy?
Yes, sir. This is an agreement that was negotiated by Leslie. It's to improve our phone systems here at City Hall and allow us to have the ability to contact every city building with the exception of PD. As it stands now, PD is under a contract with a different provider for another year. This will also improve our cell service. By that means, phone system will now be in the cloud. So any calls or emails that come into City Hall can be rolled to someone's cell phone. So we should not be missing calls, missing complaints or anything like that. And then hopefully, once the PD's contract is expired, we plan to incorporate that as well. This will get funds, be able to transfer funds from City Hall to the Civic Center, also to Public Works, to fire, the library, all city facilities with the exception currently of PD.
Currently, we can be transferred to Civic Center.
Who are we with right now?
AT&T. Yes.
It's very good, yeah, this is
It's a one-time fee of $4,200, and then it's a monthly fee of $936, which we already paid, AT&T like $100, so we're saving $170 a month
By going,
by priority, and
Okay.
and we will be able to communicate with all buildings, so whenever they call to City Hall, we'll be able to transfer to library, we'll be able to transfer to Public Works, we'll be able to transfer to, fire.
Right, yeah, it's a good plan.
And then we'll have an automated system where whenever we have holidays, it'll say, instead of ringing all the time, it'll say, city officer closed, if you have an emergency, please call this number.
call, yeah.
And I don't think we have any calls.
That we accept the service agreement for wireless on the big phones.
Second.
James. Karen. James made the motion, Carolyn seconded. Any other discussion with council? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against, the same sign. Item 20, consideration and possible action on approval on a consent for encroachment with Health Center Southeast Texas and authorized mayor to sign.
Yes, sir.
Stacy, you got?
Yes, sir. Stephen, how you say your last name, sir? Raciato. With Health Center Southeast Texas, has met with city staff and asked permission to create an additional parking on Lincoln Street to help with the clinic's location. Bobby and I met with him a couple of months ago, and this will be no cost to the city. It should help the overall parking in the area. Mr. Raciato, if you've got some more details.
I have some preliminary drawings here. Until it's approved, I don't want to pay an architect to do something. It's expensive, but we come to give a copy to everyone. Briefly go over these with you. I'm sorry that they're so small, but I didn't think it'd be practical to bring them in for the 36-inch drawings for everyone. So, just make these. Okay, what you're looking at now is the very first page. I'll just come over here. The very first page is the topo survey that we took to be able to evaluate, what we were looking at with respect to what was going to have to be done in that area. Okay, so and you can see, it's by some licensed surveyor, and it gives on the right side, that's William Barnett Avenue, and then on the north side, the top of it is East Lincoln Street. We're proposing to put in the parking along East Lincoln Street between the two driveways that we have accessing there. On the second page, you will see, it's just for preliminary, it shows that we can possibly get in 13 parking spaces along there. Right now, we have 77 parking spaces there, but on Wednesdays, when we're running our COVID vaccine clinics, we're often run out of spaces. And so far, the pastor at the United Methodist Church is gracious enough to allow us to come down there and use some of his parking to help alleviate the problem. One day I did count about 11 cars parked on the grass, both along Lincoln Street and William Barnett Avenue, and that was where we were coming up with, thinking if we can get like 13 spaces,
that would probably alleviate the problem for us. On the next page, you will see that I went back to the architect and I said, is there a way we could possibly squeeze in as many as 15? And he came up with a design, but obviously this would have to get with your approval, because you see that number 15 is real close to William Barnett Avenue, and you may have some restrictions that say, Steve, that just ain't gonna work for us. But nonetheless, I thought I'd give it to you, and then you could make a decision and let us know what you would find acceptable to you. And then the next one, I did ask the architect to come up with a preliminary of the concrete that would be involved there. And you can see he's put in some things there noting, like what the concrete would consist of. And if you really got to look at it, you'd see he's calling out for certain size rebars, certain type of concrete, and all that. So this is what we're proposing. And we want to do it along Lincoln Avenue, because William Barnett probably has too much in the way of like pipes and other stuff going along that road, and it would be, I think, foolhardy to attempt to put something along there which is probably only going to get ripped up later on for whatever reasons, okay? We're thinking that the safer approach would be to go along Lincoln Avenue, which is a very small street. It only goes between William Barnett and Highway 787. So very little traffic going down that road, with the exception of people coming into and out of our parking lot. And so that's what we're looking at. There is a welding place at one corner, and Mr. Mann is in the house at the other corner, but he's been a very good neighbor for us. So we don't anticipate he has any problems with this. But this is the proposal that we're making. Any questions?
Stacy, you got me?
No, sir.
I had talked to Bobby,
Go ahead.
Stacy.
Go ahead.
Before he left, and we discussed this, and he thought it was a good project. Now, we didn't have anything on it, so.
I agree. I think due to the length that I would propose that if we did anything, that we would do the 13 parking spaces. I think it's, the other one, number 15, is a little too close to the corner, maybe in conflict with stop signs, et cetera. So, I would agree with the 13 parking spot plan.
So I'm assuming you're asking the council just to go ahead and look at the project and then come back and talk.
Yes.
You have the opportunity before you to authorize this, what's called consent to encroachment. We've done this before when we allow people to build improvements in our right of way. Essentially what that document says is that he agrees to pay for it, to install it, and if we need to do any work in that right of way, any drainage or any street improvements, then he's responsible for the move. So there would be no cost now or in the future to the city. So you do have the opportunity tonight to actually approve this so he can move forward with this project. And I did notice, you mentioned the 13, but the page after it actually has an outline of 14 spaces. It looks like it's I agree that the one on the 15 probably is not going to meet tech stop rules, as far as spacing from the signage and intersection, but.
Yeah, the only difference between the 13 and the 14 is that I went out and I measured the actual distance of our current parking spaces, and they measure 8 feet 6 inches wide each. On the 13, he has it at 9 feet 6 inches, and if you cut it down to like right around 9 feet, you can gain 1 extra parking space. Right. That's where I was able to get that 14.
I think that you would just have to give the staff as it relates to, minimum requirements for parking spaces. We would make him adhere to regulations that we would make any person putting in a parking lot.
Right, before anything would go in, you would get a set of drawings from the architect when we, because if I get authorization, I can give him the green light to go ahead and draw up a full set of architectural drawings. And then it would come before you for approval, like it would for any other construction project that you have. And the city would have to sign off on them, and they would have to be approved. And then, everything I've ever had in the past, it's always said a copy of these must remain on site during the construction.
Right. I think that's fine. I think legal's comfortable moving forward and authorizing this, getting approval to the consent itself, and we'll let the staff work out the final exhibit to that document, and ultimately the plan development, whenever he moves forward with the architect. But it sounds like, and I don't blame you, you don't want to spend much money until you know that it's a viable project for the city.
Right, we know we need the parking space, there's no way around it. So one way or the other, we have to come up with some kind of a solution. We're just getting too crowded there. We're also looking at possibly in the future, moving some of our ancillary services out of there. For instance, human resources doesn't necessarily have to be there. And some other support type of services don't have to be in our current building, which would free it up more for patients and providers. But until we can cross that bridge, we're gonna need something, like I said, especially on Wednesdays when we have vaccine clinics, because it gets crowded on Wednesdays.
And this will certainly be an improvement.
Yes.
Mayor, I think my staff's recommendation would be to approve the consent to encroachment with the understanding that staff will work out the final details of Exhibit A.
Yes, well, I would like to, with that said, any improvements that's gonna help any of our business owners, I would like to go ahead and make the motion to approve this encroachment.
I'll second.
Marilyn made the motion, James seconded. Any other discussion from council?
No, this is just another
Go ahead.
thing that I just wanted to say, thank you for bringing that to us. And I also encourage anyone to bring any concerns and issues, just to follow up, just to make sure these things are being followed through with. But we appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Same sign against. Item 21, consideration and possible action on approval or request for qualifications for engineering for the purchase of a generator for the police department.
Mayor and council staff is asking for approval now to go out for request for qualifications for engineering to purchase a generator that will power the police department, which also serves as the city's emergency operations center. There's information provided, it's from an estimate back in July of 21, at approximately $150,000 for the engineers, to include $100,000 for the generator, $45,000 for design, bidding, and construction administration of the project, and then $5,000 for construction observation. And this is only a request for qualifications for engineering.
Stacy, I have a question on this. Who decided that the 100 kilowatts would be enough? Will that be sufficient, even though we're adding on to the police station and we'll have additional air conditioning and things there?
Yes, ma'am, I believe that was the original 150,000 that Strand estimated was to cover that size of the generator.
And they're gonna honor that price that they gave us several
Well,
months ago, we hope.
this was in July of 21, so that was their estimate at the time. Things have gone up.
It's not gonna happen.
I wouldn't anticipate it staying at that. But, and all this is for a request for qualifications.
Okay. I just wanna make sure that it's large enough to do what
Yes,
we needed to do with the improvements at the station.
Carolyn, the young man that was on the lighting meeting, I can't remember his name.
Brian?
Okay. He told me that Energy is doing these.
Yes, he did.
And you pay them a maintenance fee, they take care of the generator. I don't know, it may be something we ought to look at.
We sure, we talked to him that day at the luncheon about that, and it's a new something they're starting, and I told him then, I said, well, let us be one of your first people to try that out for you, because
Well, I mean, it could, the way he talked, they're gonna do it for a lot of other people too. I mean, not just, and maybe,
but I'm in favor.
I think we can reach out to him and open up some discussions with him.
But we also need to get the RFQ on this.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a motion that we approve this to go out for the RFQ on the new generator.
Carolyn, did you second? Okay. Carolyn made the motion, Marilyn seconded. Any other discussion on council? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Those against, same sign. Item 22, consideration and possible action on amendment number 10 to employee handbook, modifying section 6.3. These are holidays.
Angela, would you speak on this?
Yes, sir. Well, we're back in 2019, council granted the employees a floating holiday. And what we're asking now is, since the federal government recognized June 19th as the National Independence Day, we're asking to switch the floating holiday to recognize Juneteenth, which is the June 19th holiday. So we're asking simply to switch a holiday. We're not asking to add any additionals, just to switch so that we can represent or celebrate this one holiday.
Angela, is this, I would like to see this remain as a floating holiday, because this is something I think that and then this holiday can certainly still be taken, I'm not saying that, but I think our employees enjoy having a holiday they can choose. And that's my opinion.
I think that's probably the right thing to do.
So I'll make a motion to that effect.
I'll say that.
So,
Carol, you made the motion.
So we are saying that we're gonna add an additional holiday?
Yes, but they will still have the floating,
We can.
but then the Juneteenth will be another official holiday.
Or we could do both, I guess. We could give them this holiday and their floating holiday.
the way the motion is currently worded, it would do
We can't
just
do
that.
that.
You're adding a holiday. Keeping your existing holiday schedule and adding the Juneteenth as a city holiday.
Carol, you make that motion? And Marilyn, you seconded it?
So
Okay.
we're,
You're adding a holiday.
okay.
So they'll still keep their floating holiday, you're adding Juneteenth as an additional holiday.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Carolyn made the motion, James seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against, the same sign. Item 23, consideration and possible action regarding performance for boards and committees for the 2022, and consideration and possible action on recommendations from the EDC board or council nominations on replacement of Robert Lacey as EDC member.
I make a motion that I nominate Cliff Williams for that position. He was talked to, last year about that position. We, favored Mr. Lacey. I think we can only be fired as, Cliff would be considered for that position.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
may, second that.
Danny made the motion, Marilyn seconded that we appoint Clifton Wildred to replace Robert Lacey on the EDC board. Any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against, the same sign. Did you get that?
Split it to 3 yes, 2 no.
Yes.
The 3 yeses that I wrote down were Marilyn, Danny, and Dolores. And the noes were Carolyn and James. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're correct. I had someone else that I wanted to, and I still do. Mayor, I think I can do this because I'm up for, my term expires, so I'm up to be renewed. Instead of that, I would like to step down and nominate Brent McWaters to take my position.
That'd be a great deal. Bring you up to that. Okay. Council? Second. Carolyn, you made the motion, second. Any other council have anything else to say? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against? Everybody voted. Lord, did you vote for it?
No, second.
Okay, okay.
So everyone was an all yes for that one?
So,
Right. Those in-
I think,
What about what?
Sheriff Marilyn and Patrick are still up for reappointment to each seat.
Mayor, I'd like to change my vote on Clifton, because I didn't have to vote against Jim to do what I did, so I'm gonna change that to for
Okay,
him.
thanks, man. Okay. Well, I think we may can address that at another meeting, but I don't know, as far as I know, Patrick said he wanted to continue.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint, Marilyn Clay and Patrick for that board. I think that'd be good.
And that's to reappoint Marilyn and Patrick.
Well, they served on it, and they have experience, doing it.
I like
By that way, we don't do that.
I'll second
Well, we've
that.
got a motion on the floor. Danny's made the motion.
I'll second
You
that.
seconded that we keep Pat and Marilyn. Any other discussion?
No, Marilyn Clay and Patrick.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, raise their right hand. Against, the same sign.
Those are reappointed, those two.
Pat, Cisneros, it's all
We're
here.
just renewing Patrick and Marilyn.
Maryland, to keep them on here, on the, as a board. Okay, all those in favor, raise their right hand. Against?
Carolyn, did you vote yes?
I did.
Yes, you are in favor?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Is that for Marilyn and Patrick?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't get Marilyn's vote.
Marilyn said yes, because she
Yes.
seconded.
She seconded the
second.
motion, so she said yes, right? Okay. On the other, boards.
If I had a nominee for Patrick, I can't do that.
For the EDC board? Yes. I believe that's part of it.
Go ahead.
That's what I was trying.
Go ahead, Fred.
I know, but there was a motion on the floor.
Well, I didn't understand.
As the EDC president, the EDC is organized since July. So we've been going for 20 years. I've been on 15. The rule normally is, members' 2 years is up, and they are usually asked if they want to continue. And that's how we've been doing it for the last 20 years. So have we asked these two that you, Patrick Caceres and Marilyn, if they've been asked if they want to continue?
Yes.
And they
Pat has, I know, and Maryland, I think, wants to do
They
that.
said they want to do it. To me, there's no vote. They are actually,
You talked to them.
they asked, they requested, and they're on. Thank you.
The Patrick would like to continue to serve James Manley in place of Patrick.
But the motion's already been made and we voted on it, James.
And that's fine. I mean, it doesn't mean that the issue isn't still before the council. If you want to make a motion to replace a sitting member with an existing member, you have the authority to do that.
What about a city member with a nominee?
That's fine. They sit at the will and pleasure of council.
Okay.
So I'll be removed for any reason at any time.
Okay, then I'd like to replace Fred Carroll with nomination of Scott Lambert.
There's a motion on the floor.
So that's gonna be the president? Yeah.
They vote on who they're also. So there's a motion on the floor.
You seconded, Carol? Okay. James made the motion. Carolyn seconded to put Scott Lambert in place of Fred Carroll. All those in favor, raise their right hand.
Dolores, Carolyn, and James voted yes.
We got, Maryland, Mr. Weary, Mr. McWater, Scott Lambert, and somebody else. The other name?
James, let's finish the,
Okay.
it's been done already.
Patrick.
So we asked for affirmative vote, about three, we didn't ask for those.
Against the resolution.
Against.
So it's 3-2 that we put Scott on for EDC.
And, yeah,
Go ahead.
okay, now, I understand the voting and all this stuff, but how are you gonna replace someone as a president of the EDC board and they're not on the EDC? How are you gonna do that?
Well, we're not, I think what we're replacing the person, not the position, because the EDC board themselves makes the nomination for president of the EDC.
But was that position on the agenda?
For all positions for appointments. I'm just saying, the way the agenda is worded, y'all can replace any and all of them. Just
So, James, do you know Scott wants to be on the board?
Yes, sir, he does.
Okay, now, it says here that you're supposed to fill out a form. A form to fill out. Now, these other ones, Clifton, he had already been asked, you went through the process last year. So it says here that, this is a question.
The way I understand it is you don't have to fill out a form.
It's not gonna control what council decides to do. That's fine. I mean, that's a policy y'all created, and by appointing somebody who hasn't, you're essentially de facto changing that policy to allow for appointments of those who do not.
What else do we need to do?
Just an executive session. We need a motion to block the rest of the boards, because these are all the boards.
Have y'all looked at the boards that need to be, the people need to be replaced, council?
Yeah.
That's on the airport board,
Right.
what's that board?
Yeah,
Rich, you still want to be on the zoning committee?
As long as there's no conflict, that's fine.
I'm gonna double check, but I'm not aware of conflict. I'm even a conflict. Because you're a recommending body in the zoning commission. If you're on the CBOA, it'd be a different matter because you're quasi judicial, but you're recommending to council versus handling economic development. There's no inherent conflict.
As council, what I'm trying to, as council looked at all these boards that need to be reappointed, do you have, anybody have any questions about any of these appointments? Do we need anybody new?
That's just the easy.
Do we say, just review the people? Any questions on? Dan, did you get a look, did y'all look at the boards, like the library board, the zoning board?
Yeah, I'm fine with the ones that, they still want to do it, just renominate. The ones that are sitting on board, still want to serve.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're,
I'm fine.
okay, sure. You want to make the motion?
Yeah, make a motion that we continue with the same members that we have on all these boards.
Okay. Carolyn made the motion, James seconded that we go ahead and reappoint these boards on the library board, zoning board, what else? All the boards that we've got. And there's a lot. Any other discussion, council? All those in favor, raise their right hand. Against, same sign. Item 24 is closed executive session under code 551-071, consultation with attorney. 25 is closed executive session under Texas Local Code 551-074, personnel matters.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is discussed, deliberate appointment, employment, education, evaluation, duties, and compensation for the interim city manager. Is that good? That's perfect. Okay. Let's go do our Please. We're back in open session. I ask for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Any other discussion? Everybody want to adjourn? Raise their hand.